Rooker, I guess, right?
Where am I, over here?
Yeah, let's get a Tam over here. All right.
Right on, guys.
Wait, I have a very important question. Did you do a good job? Were you a good dancer? Batista, how was he? Did he do a good job?
He didn't see he was dancing.
He didn't see. Oh, he was dancing. Do you think he did a good job? Well, now, I mean, if this is brooding, I think we call it brooding. Brooding is a thing now. I need to see you, Chicago. I want to see what your brooding moves are. Would we like to see that? You want to see these guys? I want to see these guys dance. Let's make them dance.
Get the music!
We need some music.
One, two,
Everybody
three.
up! Show your best brooding moves, Chicago! All right, brooding! You're good sport.
Yeah, that's brooding.
You guys should have some microphones. There you go. There you go, sir. Well, before we begin, you guys know the drill. We do have microphones here and here. Keep it one question per person. Please make it actually a question. Nice and concise. No special requests. Also use hashtag WWChicagoCC and break out those smartphones for your Frankly Chat app. Use WizardCon to register your questions from the comfort of your very own seat. Hey, congratulations! This movie is apparently pretty darn big, isn't it?
I think people like it a lot.
I think so. Where were you guys on opening day? Where were you kind of like hanging out and watching? And when did you realize that this was an explosive opening?
Where were you?
I took like 20 of my friends and we watched it at the local theater.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
It was that good of a day then that you don't remember. Well, I think pretty much everyone in the movie except for Chris Pratt is covered in makeup, and most of you guys have shaved your heads, shaved your bodies. Batista did, yeah. Did you have it the worst, or who had the worst makeup application?
I hate to say that I had it the worst, but yeah, I mean, actually it wasn't that bad. It was long. But I don't know, man. It just never seemed bad to me. It just seemed like I was hanging out with a bunch of my buddies for 4 or 5 hours.
I don't know. When I heard about what you had to do, that seemed a lot worse than what I had to do.
It was brutal. That was the thing. Every day, like Zoe and I would be there for hours and hours and hours before Chris would show up, and he'd show up like 10 minutes before call time. Get a little dirt on his face and get his hair messed up. And like, man, are you serious?
And he's ready to go. All right, let's take some questions from the audience. Yes, sir. I'm a little concerned about what's in your hand. I don't know. What is that?
This is a cheesecake for Batista.
A cheesecake for Batista. All right.
I did it for all the Watsons.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, do you have a question?
Yeah. I love your work from Evolution, and I love your movie. Awesome.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
All right, bring the cheesecake up here real quick. It's mine now. Can I have this cheesecake?
Is that like your favorite dessert or something?
No.
It's a hell of a cheesecake. Yeah.
$20 in the stick is Oprah.
All right, get out of here. This is now getting weird. Go on, Chicago. A cheesesteak. All right. Cheesecake. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay, next questions. No more ads.
No more food. Yeah.
Involved with your questions, people.
Hi, so I absolutely love the music from Guardians of the Galaxy. So my question is, who do you think is the best dancer in the cast, and who do you think is the worst dancer in the cast?
Solid question.
You're the best.
I think your two answers are sitting right here. That's the worst.
Good answer.
A question from a banana, of course.
I'm the vegetation of this panel, but going off to the soundtrack question, what is your favorite song off of the soundtrack?
What's your favorite, Dave? Do you remember?
Yeah, my favorite song on the soundtrack is "I Want You Back," but my favorite song in the movie is "Ain't No Mountain High Enough," just because of where it's at. I don't know, it's just such a feel-good moment, and the song just feels so good and it just fits that moment. Just kind of joking with everyone.
Yeah. You actually get a couple sweet moments in the movie. Are people viewing you as a big softie now?
No, you know,
It's a
I
fair
think
question.
anybody who ever...
That's not a fair
That
question.
is a total fair question. Who thinks he gets like the sweet moments, a couple sweet moments? He pets Rocket Raccoon. He's got a nice moment with Groot.
That's a good one. That is a good one. That's a good one. He's petting the rodent. Yeah.
Anyone who personally knows me knows that I am a big softie. But I think the coolest thing about it, I think people didn't know what to make of Drax beforehand. I think they saw the pictures and they thought he was going to be a one-noted character, kind of the water soldier type. And I don't think they expected to see like different sides of Drax. I think that was kind of a cool thing.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Rooker, did James Gunn actually give you direction or just take off the collar and say, go sick him? Because you were like a mad dog out there doing awesome things.
No. Gunn is a great director.
That was the thing. And when we were going through rehearsals, because I knew of Yondu from the comics, and he just put a whole different twist on Yondu, and just made him so interesting and just surly and edgy. I just loved it. I think he's got one of the best scenes in the movie too. Is kind of the gunslinger scene where he just
Oh, nice.
falls out the arrow and it just
Right.
sticks out.
At the end, yeah. At the end, that was a cool.
Yeah.
cool moment. Yeah.
Certainly got the audience cheering in
Very
the theater.
soft. Yeah, Yondu is very soft spoken.
You're the softie.
I have softy moments.
You're the softie.
You know, when I punch Star-Lord in the gut, that's a soft moment.
It's out of love.
I could have just killed him, dude.
Right.
I believe you did because I heard him complain about it.
I know he did complain about it. You know what?
Freaking Rooker trying to kill me.
But I have to say, he asked for it. And I mean, literally, he said, Rook, just go ahead. Just go ahead. Harder, man, harder. He was into it.
But honestly, if he didn't ask for it, would you have hit him any softer?
No.
And there you go. Hi.
Hi there, a question for Mr. Batista. To the degree they can be separated, how did pro wrestling help prepare you for Hollywood? And what have you learned in Hollywood that you can bring back to the ring with your character and your promos?
Oh man, it's really hard because they're just so different. It's hard. I tell people that the similarity really is that a camera is pointing in your general direction in both, but otherwise that's it's kind of where the similarities end. Because wrestling is just so big and broad, and acting, films, everything just so much smaller and intimate. They're so different. I think that's why I love them both so much. I guess I'm entertainer at heart, and they're both challenging in different ways.
All right. Hi there.
I have a question for Michael. How long did you have to sit in makeup to become Yondu?
All right, so the question is, how long did Rooker have to sit in makeup to become Yondu?
Well, first off, I was already Yondu.
This is true.
I sat about 3.5 hours.
He had a mohawk under his
I totally had a mohawk.
prosthetic mohawk.
I flew over on the plane. I was already Yondu. I had cut my hair as a joke for James Gunn, and I cut it into a mohawk. I had an awesome little mohawk. It was kind of about that long. It went all the way back. It was really cool. And the thing with mohawks, I don't want to get off on the question, but the thing with mohawks is that you still have to trim the other part of your head to make it look cool. So every time I trim this mohawk, it would get smaller and more crooked. And by the time I was like a couple weeks into the shoot, I had this little tuft of a thing above my head. I finally just said, "Oh, look, that's it. I gotta go. It's gotta go.
Probably the answer to your question, you've noticed that he's a little energetic. So it took him 3.5, 4 hours in makeup because he just couldn't sit still. They couldn't get a hold of him. But if he was able to sit still,
20 minutes?
Yeah. I was going to say 5, but I give it the extra 15.
But truly, I fell asleep a couple of times. And they started bringing in another girl to grab my ears and pull me up and hold me like that.
You had an ear assistant. I didn't notice that in the credits.
That's right.
Ear assistant, Mr. Rooker. But good question, little man. I like it.
Good question. All total, it took about 4.5 hours to be camera ready. That includes makeup, wardrobe, and everything else. Yeah.
Hi there.
Hi. This question's for both of you. Compared to the other work that you've done, where does this rank in terms of the amount of fun that you've had doing the movie?
Oh, good question.
I haven't done that many films, but this by far exceeds, anything I've ever done, like really in my life. It was so much fun. And it was, we shot over 5-6 months and rehearsed for like a couple months before we even started shooting. So it was like 7-8 months of just blast. And then, picked up again when we started doing the press tour and got back together and everything. It's been nothing but fun. Crazy.
Speak for yourself. That's true. We had a blast.
Yeah.
Totally did that.
So much fun.
And I discovered that I hate to put this out there because I'm going to get thousands of them now. But if anybody has ever heard of twiglets, I love those little twiglets. They're like these little pieces of wood-looking things that are, and they taste like burnt wood, but they're delicious. and every time I ate a twiglet, I was thinking, Groot, 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 Groot.
Twiglets. Yeah, you're going to be getting a lot of twiglets from now on.
Well, they're hard to find over here. I think you got to go to London or England, places like that to get them. Australia, they have twiglets.
The twiglet people, yeah.
Boxes of twiglets.
Hi there.
I'm sure everybody knows this already, but there are few finer performances in a movie ever than Michael Rooker in Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, and it's required viewing for every kid in the audience.
It's required viewing for everyone under 12.
Yeah. If you never want to sleep again, children.
Should have been a musical. Thank you.
You're welcome. Just wanted to know how long it took you to shake off that character, and if you're ever doing a role that freaking shit your pants scary ever next.
You know what? Well, first off, people ask this question a lot, and people ask the other opposite end of this question. Well, how long did it take me to get into the role, and what kind of preparation? And I tell them there was no preparation required. And then I scare the hell out of the entire audience. And then at the other end of the question, your question is, I tell them that it's never left me. And do you need a ride home later?
Yes, sir.
My question's for Batista. I've been a big fan since in your work with Evolution, on SmackDown and everything. My question was regarding Rey Mysterio, because you two were like kind of both my favorite iconic wrestlers at the time. How was it working with Rey in and outside of the ring, and how was your guys' friendship and things like that working on the show?
We're tight. We've always been tight. We're still tight. And Rey, it breaks my heart, but because I get asked a lot, what was my favorite match, my best match of my career, and it was actually on a house show in Mexico, a match that I did with Rey. And we weren't booked on the show together, but I was leaving the company, and I was, big as a heel at the time. Of course, Rey, babyface in Mexico, was, to work him as a heel in Mexico was like a dream come true. So I begged and pleaded to get this match, and they gave it to me at the last minute. And literally, by far, it was the best match of my career that nobody will ever see, unless you were there.
Yeah, so you got to wrestle with him.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Cool. Well, let's take a question from the Frankly Chat app, and I guess this is for Rooker. Yondu grins when we see Quill snookered him. Is he like a proud papa in a way, or just excited to go kick Quill's butt?
Oh, are they referring to the end?
Yeah.
I opened the door. The thought in my head was, that's my boy. That's my boy. I taught him well. He knows how to do it. He can survive now,
But
all that went through my head.
you're still gonna go kick his butt, though, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
That look happened after the camera cut. I'm sure what you mean by prank. 15,000 bumblebees take to somebody's door. As they open it, never mind.
No, I mean, we had a lot of laughs, but we didn't really prank each other all that much. They pranked me once along the whole shoot, and it was just they called me to set, and they were gonna have like this big dance off, and I was the only one who wasn't aware that we were gonna have this big dance off. And it just turned into this big crazy thing where it was like 200 extras on set. It was a big crash site scene, and
Yes.
So when Star-Lord starts dancing, he's like, ooh, child, and he starts the whole dance off, and he points at Ronan, well, during the shot. Well, Ronan actually started dancing back, and and then I'm like, oh, because Lee's messing around, but then, Chris points at Zoe, and she starts dancing, and I'm like, what's going on? I was like, oh man, they're gonna point at me in a second. In a second, but sure enough, drugs. And I did some like goofy Will Smith dance. I think it's going to be actually on the DVD extra.
I really hope so.
I missed that scene. I come in a little later in the sequence.
Well, instead, I guess as far as the pranks, as far as the ALS bucket challenge, Pratt challenged you, Batista, right? I would say that you won the ice bucket challenge with that. If you haven't seen it, you're in a tub full of ice.
I was gonna do the tub full of ice. My lovely better half wouldn't let me.
No. Well, it was really cool. It's really cool. It is a cool thing. I'm glad you brought it up because, I never. Lou Gehrig has been my hero since I was a kid. But I never thought about really donating towards ALS. I just never really thought it was something that people, I guess, they go through their daily life and they don't really think about stuff like that. Until somebody brings it to your attention. Hey, maybe you should be doing this. And it did. It brought a lot of awareness, and they've raised a lot of money for ALS. And I wasn't aware of what the challenge was until Chris called me out. And as soon as he did, I was on board. And I've called out some friends who have taken it to an even different level. A friend, a very close friend named Nonito Donaire, who's a boxer, professional boxer. And he did this awesome thing. He got one of those big tanks where you throw balls at them. It's a dunk tank. And he charged people for each ball they threw. And he ended up raising like $5,000 just for dunking himself in a big. But it's just it's just a way to get involved.
Yeah, we can applaud that.
James Gunn was my challenger. He challenged me, and so I wasn't sure, what to do. And so it was like a bucket. A bucket's not enough, So anyway, I had this foot soaking bucket, which was really, quite large. And so, and on my video, I let the audience know that, in California, we're in a major drought in a big way. So I got water from my septic and I froze them into ice cubes. It's called recycling. Next question.
I was afraid.
Would you like to be painted any colors than the colors you were painted in the movie?
No.
With your characters before you were cast?
Of course not.
What is your favorite WrestleMania moment, and are you friends with Daniel Bryan?
That's two questions.
WrestleMania 21.
21, yes.
What was Groot like on set?
I don't know. I never played with a tree. Go, baby, go.
My question was actually for Michael Rooker, but how did playing Merle on Walking Dead prepare you for playing Yondu in Guardians of the Galaxy?
None of your business. Next.
First impression of each other.
First impressions of each other. God, what an ass.
All right, I gotta tell you this story now. You've probably heard it a million times. I can't say it's really fast. This is like one of my earliest impressions of him, of Michael. So I brought my fiance on the set. I said, Michael, this is my fiance. That's all I got out of my mouth before he picked her up and ran away with her. Bring her back.
It'll just get weirder and weirder. I think that's 10 questions, right?
Thank you, that's 10 questions. Oh, one more.
What was your experience working with Karen Gillan?
Awesome.
Awesome.
Awesome.